Good morning, my friends. Welcome to our New Testament challenge. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some thoughts from the 6th chapter of the book of 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 6. So Paul is talking at the beginning of chapter 6. This is a wonderful passage. Even though it is written to the church, it is written to, this is one of the more, let me put it this way, one of the more evangelical passages in Paul's letters, designed specifically for those who are questioning, those who are doubting, those who are wondering, those who are exploring. And he talks about, what they have done, Paul and his other missionaries, what they have done in order to present the gospel to the people in Corinth. And so, and he quotes from Isaiah several times. He says, "In acceptable time I have listened to you, and on a day of salvation I have helped you." He says, "See, now is the acceptable time. See, now is the day of salvation." And so he's really pushing this, hey, you've got a decision to make. And here's why you should make that decision. And here, if you want to understand the seriousness of this and how serious we take this gospel, this is what we have gone through. These are the difficulties that we have overcome so that you would have the opportunity to hear the gospel and experience it for yourself. We have spoken frankly to you, Corinthians. Our heart is wide open to you. So he's really, and again, he is concerned about the lives of the people in Corinth. This is where he's at right now. This is, even though it's evangelical, there is a huge, wonderful pastoral heart nature to this passage. And that actually connects with the last half, which is verses 14 through 18. It's a little different. Some people, there's actually some scholars that say this passage came from another letter and it just kind of got stuck in there, that verse 13, chapter 6, actually connects to chapter 7, verse 2. And so there's a few verses in here that just seem different. But it also talks about, again, he's concerned about the people in Corinth. And again, context. We got to remember this context. In the context here, he says, y'all need to make sure you're not corrupted by the features of the world. And so he really talks about pulling themselves apart, living apart, making sure they don't integrate with unbelievers too much, that until they mature in the faith, they're going to have difficulty really separating what it is the world is saying versus what it is God and the church are saying. And so this last part is, hey, make sure you separate yourselves at some point so that you are not influenced by the ways of the world. Paul is just really, really concerned for the people who are reading this letter, and he approaches it from two different ways. Again, the first way is, hey, he says, this is what we've gone through for you, and this is why it's important. You need to accept this. And then the second part of the chapter is that he's saying, don't be caught up in the world. There's still a lot of temptations out there, and we need to make sure we step away at certain points. And again, context here, we step away so that our faith is not led astray. Important stuff. This is good stuff. Hopefully, this has been helpful for you. Thank you, my friends, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.